Still out there, mate. Still blowing a bit down. It's not as bad as it was. And again, the sun has come out just briefly. But any time it comes out, it puts a bit of heat into the tarmac here. We've still got a bit of cloud cover, though.
Green flag at the back for this one, Keith. So it will be all eyes to the lights. Red lights are on, and out they go. Oh, got a hand in the air. Here is George Halliday. Gets underway. He will take the lead from James Fern. Looks as though it was Ted Wilkinson who did not make it off of the line there, Keith. So scary stuff. He was at the very, very sharp end. He was on pole position. So watch for Ted Wilkinson from the back of the field. But everybody through Old Hall Corner safely. It was George Halliday who took the running ahead of James Fern.
Right, watching him safely down through Cascades. A very scary moment for Ted Wilkinson there. Looks like he's got going now because he's charging down and he is running a plumb last. Everybody else, the leaders at least, are up to Island Bend, and he's only just coming out of Cascade. So this will be a burn from the stern for Ted Wilkinson. Now he's got that bike going. Always very scary when somebody stalls on the line, particularly if they happen to be on the front row, because that means there's nearly 30 bikes that've got to get past them safely. At least on pole position, you're off to one side. It's when you're in the middle of things, it can get very messy indeed. So the sun is shining brightly here. I'm waiting for him to crest the hill. That's going to be George Halliday leading the way. George, no relation to Scott Halliday, the power bike leader at the moment, as a few outbraking manoeuvres are being thought about, but nothing too severe coming to play. As I watch them all safely through, I'll get the names and numbers for you shortly. I think that was Logan Stone I just saw go past there, so hopefully he's made the start now. Oh, a little bit of a near miss here at the Knickerbrook Apex, and not quite sure where Ted Wilkinson is, but he's already gone past me because he's certainly not trailing on behind, mate. So it'll be interesting to see how many places he's made up, because that was a big old handicap he had at the start there, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. Watching George Halliday through Lodge now, dropping down and back into our sight underneath the bridge at the end of lap number 1 then. So it's a 9-lap race for these guys, 8 more to go at the end of this first lap. George Halliday leads the way from Michael Bampton, then it's James Fern, Toby Finnis, Rob Saltmer and Ben Brown up next. Adam Jameson and Logan Stone up the inside of Jordan Kilworth. No, Jordan Kilworth just politely closes the door in front of the number 5 of Logan Stone. So let's have a look to see where our pole position man number 122 Ted Wilkinson has got to. He came across the line 22nd overall, 22nd overall there, Keith, and dropping 21 positions as you'd expect from pole position. But going the other way, making up 21 positions, it's Logan Stone, who's now 9th.
Excellent. So James Fern leading the way there, I see, in the Thunderbike Sport class. Good news here, but Rob Saltman pushing on hard, even though Toby Finnis is between them. We think Toby is probably the leading club rider in this particular race. Ben Brown would be second in the race there. Adam Jameson running third in the Thunderbike Sport there, just ahead of Jordan Kilworth. Jordan's really finding his mojo, isn't he, mate?
He is, yeah. So we've seen him run towards a sharp end in Thunderbike Ultras at Donington Park and places like that, inside the top 5. But it's good to see him out there on a slightly different bike doing it as well, because he came across the line only 0.4 of a second away from a previous champion in this class, Adam Jameson. Yep,
Adam right there in the mix again this time here as they come past me. A few people leaning on the field. Oh, that's Wilkinson going underneath people. He is slicing through them, mate. Oh, he's been held up a little bit going up the hill there, I think, but not by too much. Somebody decided they wanted a bit of the track he wants, and obviously they were there first, so they get to keep a bit of track.
He's gone purple in segment number 1 while making his way through the field.
That is amazing, given how many people he must have passed as well. He's absolutely on it. It really is so fast. Real class act, Ted Wilkinson.
George Halliday is across the line leading the way from Michael Bampton, and it's pretty much as you were inside these top positions. Jordan Kilworth still there ahead of Josh Harvey. There goes Morgan. Here's Ted Wilkinson now behind Morgan Creasy. So that is 12th position. 1 minute 47.4 while making his way through traffic. So he is up to 12th position. He's made up 11 positions on this lap, Keith, and takes the fastest lap of the race as well. Just goes to show the kind of talent that Ted Wilkinson has on that bike. Aaron Hans, I can see number 63 just making his way through. He's having a bit of a scrap with the 12.
Sorry badly interrupted you. It's heard on the radio. Somebody's gone down. I'm guessing it might be at Lodge or somewhere like that. I certainly can't see anything here. But Ryder's gone down, but he's up, he's okay. We'll come back with the details in a minute.
Can't see anything on the screens here, so And yeah, so it only goes down to 30 on the screen, so I can't see on there either, I'm sorry to say, but we'll try and pick up the number when it does come through. So Halliday leads the way by 2.5 seconds over Michael Bampton. He has a 2.7 second margin over James Fern, but James Fern, Toby Finnis, Rob Saltmer, Ben Brown, Logan Stone, not a whole lot of time to separate those riders, but the fastest man on the circuit is the man in 12th position, your pole position man, number 122, Ted Wilkinson on the RS660 Aprilia Super Twin machine. So leaders already in towards sector number 2, that is to say that they're through Water Tower, through Druids and underneath the Warwick Bridge, heading towards Lodge Corner, and that is where we will pick them up very shortly. In fact, there is George Halliday right on cue, heels into the right hander at Lodge on that number 42 Triumph Daytona 660.
It's Kane Farr who unfortunately has taken a bit of a tumble there, the man who's supported by the Elms B&B in Snetterton, the friendly rider, but he got up okay, but I think he might have taken a bit of a knock, so I've asked him to visit the medical centre afterwards, but no need to stop any proceedings, so nothing too serious. I'm not quite sure where that is. It might be at the back end of the circuit or something like that, because obviously you've got a multitude of cameras there. I appreciate Bradley, and you can't be looking at all of them all the time. So Halliday over the line once again, and he is doing exactly what Ted Wilkinson did earlier today, and he leads Bampton. Fern still leads the way in the Thunderbike Sport class, then it's Finnis on the Daytona 660. Logan Stone looking to repeat his victory of yesterday. Did Logan start quite a way down the field? He would have started at the back.
He was at the back, and Logan Stone across the line was
he's second in class.
Yeah, he was half a second away from the lead.
Yeah, okay, he's passed Rob Saltmer, so that could be one. That's an excellent ride by Logan Stone, looking to do the daily double. He's definitely putting himself in serious championship contention if he can keep up this kind of performance. I'm looking at George Halliday coming through and hustling that bike through the Hizzy chicane. And here comes that battle. I think that's Stone down the inside of Fern. Yep, that's the red and white machine out in front. So there we go, Logan Stone. He's been working hard with his coach Matt Weatherall to find some speed. I'll tell you what, it's worked nicely around here. Let's see if Fern's going to answer for him, or maybe even Rob Saltmer, who's a little bit further back from them. But that's fantastic stuff. And Rob, I think, a little bit of a moment there for the 15 machine. I think looks like a Honda going across the grass there as well. But yeah, that's an impressive performance from Logan Stone from the back of the grid to be leading the class here at Dalton Park, isn't it, mate?
It certainly is. That would be Nick Smith you're looking at there, Keith, number 15 on the Honda. Nick Smith, of course, a former Formula 400 and Sub-64 champion from a few seasons ago. There goes Michael Bampton, second place, ahead of Logan Stone. Ted Wilkinson finds his way through on James Fern. So Ted Wilkinson is up to 4th position overall, a 1 minute 48.6 on that previous lap. He's 10.4 seconds away from the leader as we are rapidly approaching half race distance in this 9-lap race. This is the end of lap number 4. Go on, Keith.
Yep, Jordan Kilworth's good run over on Freight has come to an end. He's joined the Druids Club by the sound of it. I think you'll see his timing beam getting tripped there at the line this time, unfortunately for Jordan. So it's a great shame, but he's okay, and quickly clearing up the mess there, but that's obviously going to forestall some fastest laps there with the yellow flags fluttering out the back once again.
Andy Houghton across the line now, of course, our disabled rider. He's peeling in towards Old Hall Corner now, and he is in 12th position in class, so looking on course to score 4 points. 0.9 of a second ahead of Stuart May, Aaron Hands, and the number 12 bike of Andy Jackson. Andy Jackson from Kendal up there in Cumbria.
What sort of lap times is Logan Stone doing, mate?
He is doing personal best last time around of 1 minute 49.218.
So very decent time in any circumstances. Keep an eye to see if he can go a little bit harder than that. He is running very well indeed. 49.8, so that puts him 1.4 away from Dan Singleton's long-standing lap record in this particular class, which he set again 7 years ago. So I don't know if he's going to be a challenger, but if he can nail that sucker, that would be truly amazing. Again, conditions not ideal. The wind here has died down quite a bit, but I can still see the bulrushes fluttering away. There's a little bit of heat in the track because the sun is poking through the clouds on occasion. Those clouds look like they're getting a little bit higher again, badly, so hopefully we're not going to be afflicted by any rain at some point today. But George Halliday, sorry, I do apologise, George. He's doing an amazing job out in front. He is well away from everybody else as they make their way through
Fastest lap of the race. P4 Ted Wilkinson.
Ted Wilkinson,
he's got 2.3 seconds of clear track in front of him. A 1 minute 45.5 for Ted Wilkinson.
What place is Ted now in?
Third
Wow.
overall. Yep. He was 10 seconds away from the lead. He's now 8.4 away. George Halliday put in his personal best lap of the race on that previous lap at the end of lap number 5, 1 minute 47.522. But 2 seconds quicker is Ted Wilkinson with that 1 minute 45.563. Here comes Andy Houghton, Stuart May and Aaron Hans. And must admit, I haven't seen Aaron Hans on a Super Twin before, so it could well be getting some track time in before he takes to the roads. Number 12 coming past as well. That's Andy Jackson gone.
George Halliday there, making short work of Brampton as well, so he's passed him. Gives him a thank you foot out. I don't know if he made too much room for him. Certainly, Ted had a quick look in at Knickerbrook there, couldn't quite do it. Somebody else going a little bit wide of the chicane, but holding it all together. So now I think is when we're going to see the best of Ted Wilkinson. It's going to be these next couple of laps, mate, seeing if he can chase Ted. Oh, somebody else is taking a tumble there by the sound of it, or maybe it's just one of the others. Looks like Mr. Smith has managed to make his way through here safely. Somebody else going straight on again, the orange 22 machine. Who's that, mate?
22, that's Jack Griffiths.
Jack Griffiths decided to work his way through the chicane there. Yeah, keep an eye on Wilkinson this time round, mate. I wouldn't be surprised. There goes George Halliday down into Cascade, so Wilkinson should be the next one to appear before me. There he is, right on cue. He's being chased by Bampton there as well, but obviously we know that Ted is probably potentially at least the fastest thing on that track. Logan Stone, what sort of time is Logan doing?
Logan Stone,
the 48 yet?
It's still 49.2.
Okay, so he's getting a little bit quicker, but he's still going to shave another few tenths off.
Finn Chalk up the inside, further down the order, so that's Finn Chalk up the inside of the number 442 of Max Dixon, the man from the Wirral. So that is for 8th and 9th in the Twins. Of course, this could well be the first time that that Finn Chalk has ridden that F900.
Yeah, no, it's first time out this weekend for Finn Chalk. He's kind of assessing the bike. This is obviously used to the CB500 or to the F900, a completely different machine, of course. So he's just kind of finding his way with it. Oh, George Halliday's turn to go straight on here at the Izzy chicane. That means that Wilkinson's going to get a little bit closer, and Wilkinson will probably see him in the distance. He's going to know it's a quick bike. He might recognise George from that distance, but he's definitely closing him down.
Purple in sector number 1 for Ted Wilkinson. 2.1 seconds quicker than George Halliday in that first sector.
Well, that'll be partly because of George's mistake through the chicane here, because as you know, the escape road is not the quickest way through. The barriers there kind of see to that, don't they? You've got to do a definite bit of flicking, which is exactly what the number, that is Finn Chalk decides to do for the through the chicane there. Again, keeps his bike nicely out of the way there, so a quick excursion there.
So the gap was over 7 seconds between Halliday and Wilkinson. It's now down to 4.5 seconds. So on that lap, 2.6 seconds quicker Ted Wilkinson was than George Halliday. We've got 2 laps to go, and the gap is 4.5 seconds. Mathematically, it's possible, but in reality, it's going to be a very tall order.
It certainly is. Well, it gives him something to challenge, gives us something to watch as well. What sort of time is Ted doing?
Ted did a 1 minute 45.263 on that previous lap, Keith. That's the fastest lap of the race, fastest lap of the weekend in the Super Twins.
Okay. Right, some minor battles coming past me here. I'm waiting for that one coming over the hill. I'm going to be seeing George Halliday. Be interesting to see how close Ted Wilkinson goes. How many laps did you say there were left, mate?
2 laps. We're on the penultimate
2 laps, yeah, okay. So not a long way to go. Here they come then over the hill. There comes Halliday, and there's one bike between Ted and Halliday. Wilkinson, he's going to nail that bike very rapidly at the chicane there. Yep, doesn't cause him any great grief at all. I don't think he's lost any time whatsoever putting a lap down, and he knows Halliday is definitely closer to that front tyre of his. He's gone up the hill a lot closer. I reckon he's pulled another couple of seconds back. Logan Stone coming through, still heading James Fern there in that battle for the Thunderbike Sport honours. It's going to be another close fight in Thunderbike Sport, I think, this year, mate. We're used to seeing him in that class, aren't we?
We certainly are. Remember Adam Jameson, he took his championship over Matt Fedrick by 1 point, didn't he?
Yep,
a couple of years ago. Last lap flag is out, and the gap was 4.5. 4.5 seconds between George Halliday and Ted Wilkinson. It's now down to 1.8 seconds, Keith. 1.8 seconds as Ted Wilkinson goes 2.7 seconds quicker than George Halliday. So they're heading down the avenue now in towards Denton's and Cascades. You'll see George Halliday on that white Triumph, and then Ted Wilkinson on the all-black Aprilia.
Oh, I can see them, mate, and I know Ted's going to chuck everything he can at this lap. Toby Finnis and Ben Brown are quite close, and I think that's a battle for points in the championship as far as the club goes as well. So keep an eye on that one by the time they get to the line. Unfortunately, the number 30 machine of Andy Lovett has stopped down here as well. He's very safely out of the way because he's basically through the escape road, and he's looking, I know he's looking down at his bike and just sobbing. It's always hard to tell at this distance. And I'm waiting for those leaders to come up. Here comes a threesome battle that's been going on for the entire race. They're not going to have any part to play. Now, any other back markers going to have a part to play? Oh, I tell you what, Wilkinson is right on the tail of the leader. They've got a back marker in front of them. Halliday goes around the outside and Wilkinson goes with. No, Wilkinson gets held up just a fraction of a second there. So that might well have decided things. Guy, I wonder if it was the yellow flag. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's regained his composure though. They're going to disappear out the back there. I know there's probably going to be another purple for Wilkinson at the split timer there. You're going to have to keep an eye at Lodge, mate, to see if you can see any action, because they're going to be with you very shortly indeed.
I'll try and get here. I can see they're already round Druids there over the crest underneath the bridge. I'm going to try and pick out that white and black bike. Ted Wilkinson's at the inside into the last corner at Lodge. Can he keep a hold of it? Yes, he can. Get the power on. It's a twin versus the triple, but it is going to be Ted Wilkinson who takes the win. So from pole position to the back of the pack, and a race win for Ted Wilkinson, all in the same race. That is incredible work for the man on bike number 122. So Ted Wilkinson, pole position, stalls it on the line, drops to the back of the pack, and in 9 laps takes the win by a quarter of a second over George Halliday, and sets the fastest lap of the race of a 1 minute 45.263. Michael Bampton is across the line. Logan Stone takes the win in the Thunderbike Sports, and it's Toby Finnis ahead of Ben Brown by 0.894 of a second. James Fern second in the Thunderbike Sports ahead of Rob Saltmer. Then it is Adam Jameson, Morgan Creasy in 5th place in class 10th position overall. Josh Harvey 11th for bike number 11. That is 6th place in the Thunderbike Sport class, 10 points for him. James Leatham and the 575 of Luke Jones, the man from Liverpool. He comes across the line in 13th. Nick Smith, Finn Chalk, there is the number 3 machine of Dickinson. That's Chris Dickinson, the man from Preston. And then it's Dixon, Terry Smith, Swift, Hayden Kilworth, Griffiths, Luff, and you can see Chalk just dropping down the timing screen. That is a transponder issue. He jumps back up to 15th. Ransom, Malvern May, Andy Houghton is across the line as... There we go, that's Jackson, Kingston and Russell all taking the checkered flag as well. So, good riding there, but at 0.264, just over a quarter of a second, the gap between Ted Wilkinson and George Halliday, despite the dramas of Ted Wilkinson's race there.
Well, I'm just going to try to listen on the radio, see if lunch is being called at all, because you think that we are running to 2 o'clock now. But
we are getting the final call for the British Supercars.
I was about to say, I think we might be having at least one more race.